6 of them. 6 new mock drafts came out today on the morning of the NFL draft. We're going to run through all 6.
Yeah.
Figure out what kind of trends.
We're going to tell you which ones we vote for.
You tell me which ones you like the most, which ones are intriguing, see if there's any trends, and then we'll kind of discuss the inner workings of all this. But the first one comes from Todd McShay. Todd McShay has the Browns taking Caden Proctor, the Alabama left tackle, at number 6, and Mekhi Lemon, the USC receiver, at number 24. We've had discussions about Mekhi Lemon possibly being in play for the Browns at 6. In this scenario, they go tackle first, receiver second, and still get Mekhi Lemon. Okay. Let's go to the next one here. This is from the Athletics beat reporters. They have the Browns trading number 6 to the Rams for number 13, number 61, and a 5th-round pick in 2027. With that 13th pick then, the Browns would take Caden Proctor, the same player they got at 6 in McShay's draft, and Max Ianachor, the Arizona State offensive tackle.
I mean, in this case, I don't know if you're pronouncing it right.
I know for 100% fact
Ianachor?
It is Ianachor. He's a guy who started JUCO and then transferred to Arizona State. Really cool backstory. He's new to football. He's 6'6", 225 pounds, played right tackle.
325 pounds.
325 pounds, yes.
A lot of upside.
A lot of upside. Let's go to the next mock draft. This is Peter Schrager's mock draft. He has the Browns taking Spencer Fano at number 6, the offensive tackle from Utah, and Denzel Boston, the Washington receiver, at 24. Bucky Brooks from NFL.com has the Browns taking Carnell Tate, the receiver from Ohio State, at number 6. He's the only one of these mock drafts that had the Browns going receiver with their first pick. He has Caleb Lomu, the other Utah offensive tackle, going to the Browns at 24. Daniel Jeremiah, Spencer Fano once again going number 6 with Casey Concepcion, the Texas A&M receiver, coming to the Browns at 24. And last but not least, Field Yates of ESPN had the Browns taking Monroe Freeling, the offensive tackle, that Hall of Famer Joe Thomas, and friend of the program on your podcast yesterday, Sean King had as his top offensive tackle in this draft. And then Denzel Boston, the Washington receiver, once again going to the Browns at number 24. So that's 6 mock drafts.
Yeah.
5 of the 6 of the Browns going offensive tackle first, and then either receiver or tackle second. Of these guys, which one do you like the most?
5 of the 6 have offensive line first, then 1 has wide receiver first. And I believe 5 out of 6 have wide receiver with the second pick.
And 1 had a double tackle draft. The Athletic had a double tackle draft.
Right. Okay, yeah. Or maybe, no, I think 4 had wide receiver second because 1 had wide receiver first. And then 2 have offensive lineman second, one of them being a double offensive lineman. Guys, what do we think? Dustin, which of those do you like the best?
Well, I don't like taking 2 offensive linemen, even though that may end up being the wisest move, to try and beef up the offensive line, to try to protect these young quarterbacks who we're trying to figure out if these guys can play. And the number one thing you need to be able to do to see if these guys can play is protect them.
Right.
And that's one thing Shedeur just didn't have much of last year, didn't have much protection at all. So, when you look at something like that mock draft right there, you're taking, 2 tackles. You're beefing up that O-line. You've already made a bunch of moves in free agency too. So, you're investing a ton in the O-line, which may end up, like I said, being the wise move.
Yeah.
Not going to make us very happy tonight because we want to, like we said this morning, we want to talk about the toys. We want to see guys that can score touchdowns,
right?
And catch passes and do all these fun things. But offensive linemen tend to not be the sexiest draft picks.
Jason, what do you like?
You're not going to like me very much.
Okay, you like the 2 offensive linemen?
Well, when we get to the YouTube show, I had 2 offensive linemen just because I just think it's the biggest weakness on the team. And regardless of who the starting quarterback is, they tend to hold the ball, both of them. Both Deshaun and Shedeur are among the league leaders in holding on to the ball. So you got to protect longer than the 1,001, 1,002, 1,000 balls out. No, with these guys, you got to hold it even longer. And they made moves in free agency, but are we sure that I don't know that they addressed it. I don't know if they solved anything long term. Mm-hmm. So I would rather
definitely not long term.
So that's why
short term maybe.
Yeah. So I said with G this week, I don't know that they could make a move where I'm like, that's outrageous. No matter what they do, there's so many holes on this team.
Yeah,
you're gonna be okay with it. So which one do you like the best? I don't like Proctor at all.
I don't like. My biggest problem with that double offensive line draft is you're taking 2 very risky guys.
Yeah.
So first you're trading down, then you're taking 2 offensive linemen. Now, Sean King also, we mentioned him before. He also advocated for taking 2 offensive linemen. Now, he liked the idea of Freeling early and then Proctor late.
Yeah.
He doesn't like Proctor that early. He thinks there's risk. And the second guy in that is inexperienced. The first guy has a weight issue.
Yeah.
Guys that come into the league with a weight issue, it doesn't usually end up going well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to have a guy coming in with a, like you said this yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what it's like to deal with the ebbs and flows of having weight problems, and we've seen it firsthand. With what's his face, DeJuan Jones. Yeah.
I'll tell you, I like the one I like the most is the Bucky Brooks one because that's Tate, and then Lomu, I think, or whatever the offensive lineman.
I guess I just am only going to be happy if they draft Tate. First, and then do whatever the hell else you want later.
But I was okay with there was one or maybe 2 that had Freeling with the first pick.
Like Field Yates had Freeling at the first pick and Denzel Boston.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that too. I mean, listen, I'm gonna to your point. No matter how we react tonight, it's silly because we don't know until the guys play. If the Browns draft Proctor, I'm gonna be disappointed because I already don't trust Andrew Berry.
Yeah.
And like I'm gonna be like, I took another risky offensive lineman with a weight issue.
That's probably the one guy that I would be down on. That's probably what they're going to take now.
But if they take Freeling, if they take Tate, if they take one of the big defensive players, I know a lot of people will be upset about that. I won't.
No, I won't either. I don't love the receiver choices at 24. I don't like any of those guys.
Well, one of the guys had Lemon as the late pick.
How could he
How's he fall to
possibly
24?
fall that far?
I mean, I'd be shocked if he's there.
Yeah, but that's just because we don't know. There's always some players that go later than all the mock drafts predict.
I mean, if they can get Mekhi Lemon at 24, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Maybe they trade up for him.
I've seen that guy play, and I'd be shocked if he's there at 24.
Yeah. I
Concepcion, he could be there easily at 24.
That doesn't excite me. Concepcion at 24 doesn't excite me.
Well, maybe they take a defensive player with the second.
They could.
Yeah.
They could. They easily could.
None of these are going to end up being right. The Browns could end up, the Browns always surprise us.
Well, I mean, we've spent months talking about tackle, receiver, tackle, tackle, receiver, tackle.
Yeah.
I won't be shocked at all tonight if they don't come out of this with a tackle and a receiver tonight.
By the way, again, I like Sean, so I'll keep mentioning things he said to me. He is not high on Spencer Fano at all. He's like, you're going to draft a guy at 6 that we don't know what position he's going to play?
That's way too risky to me.
Yeah, I mean, the guy played tackle in college. They're at the combine. They're asking him to take center reps.
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly don't want another Jed Wills situation where you're drafting a guy who has played one position in college, and then you're going to ask him to move the second he gets to the league. I just think that's a recipe for disaster, and especially with the way the Browns have selected on the offensive line with Andrew Berry, it hasn't gone very well.
Well, Berry said at the owners' meetings he doesn't get wrapped up in. He thinks it's no big deal to flip from right to left or
well, he's wrong.
Like that.
I mean, players have said that. Wow. That's a ridiculous comment to make.
I mean, Joe Thomas has said it.
Yeah. I think he knows more than Andrew Berry.
I'm just telling you, that's what he said at the owners' meetings.
Well, sounds like
it didn't work for Jed Wills. It didn't work for DeJuan Jones. I mean, he's going to keep doing that nonsense?
Well, Ray Farmer didn't believe in receivers over 5'9" either.
Some of the switches have worked out pretty well. Like Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah, well, it hasn't worked for the Browns, though.
I'm just saying, like, it feels like...
Nobody's saying it's impossible, Mike.
No, but I'm saying there is track records of it working.
Sure.
It just hasn't worked here whatsoever.
And it's not easy. Yeah. Like he said, he said to say it's not a factor is stupid because it is a factor.
I mean, I don't want to misquote. I don't remember the exact quote, but basically, I'm paraphrasing. Basically, he doesn't think that's not... It's not a reason not to take a guy that he thinks the right guy.
In my opinion... Taking a guy in the top 10 that you're changing his position is a risk. Sure. Doesn't mean it can't work out, but it seems like an unnecessary risk.
Yeah.
And just the fact that like teams were not sure he's a tackle, you're not taking a guy like even if he ends up being a good player, you could take in a center or a guard at 6.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you right now, I was a corner in college.
Yeah.
And they tried to move me to safety when they drafted me.
Right.
It didn't go well.
Right.
I was uncomfortable. I never played safety in college. I played it in high school, but it wasn't something I was comfortable with. And ultimately, it sort of ended my career in Minnesota when I went to safety.
Right,
I
right.
ended up having to break my arm because I'm playing in the box, a position that I'm not used to playing. So it sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, you tell the scouts and GMs and everybody, you're like,
Right.
I'll do whatever.
Right, yeah.
You want me to play inside? You want me to play like no problem. But boy, once you actually get on the team and then you have to go learn the position and you're like, this is not what I'm used to.
Right. Now, probably switching to corner to safety
it's
different than changing
it
left
is.
tackle or right tackle, but it's still not the same. Guys used to
It's not something
having
you're
his body a
comfortable
certain
with.
way. Yeah.
And if you haven't seen that, like they didn't see me play safety.
Right.
Why are they drafting me as a safety?
Yeah, right.
I thought it was silly, but again,
Yeah.
I was happy, and I was 23, and I was happy to have a paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. So anyway, that's the deal, Mike. I think I don't know that we have a consensus as to which is the best scenario, which is the worst one. I don't love the double O line. I especially don't love it with the two guys they would pick in that one from whoever had that the Athletics.
That was the Athletics, yes.
Well,
Blame Zach, because
made
that
those
was
picks.
Oh, that was Zach Jackson?
Yeah.
The beat reporters made the picks.
Well, but I think Zach's making that based on stuff he's hearing and whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, that's those two risky picks.
Does it seem weird to you guys that for the first 60% of the lead up, it felt like receiver was the lean and Carnell Tate was the guy that most mock drafts had penciled in for the Browns at 6? And then it started to kind of trend and Tate was going 7, 8, maybe even 9 to the Chiefs. And now, 83% of the mock drafts the day of had them going in a different direction and not Tate. Is that just the normal ebbs and flows of a draft cycle?
Yes, because obviously rumors started that the Browns like Proctor or whatever. But you know what? Again, the Browns have been good at throwing out misinformation there. It could be totally bogus, and the Browns might draft Sonny Styles. Who knows? Nothing the Browns would do would surprise me.
I agree.
I don't think it's crazy. I wouldn't be surprised, not necessarily the Browns, but like if Ty Simpson ends up going to the top 6, I'm not going to be shocked.
Would be.
We've seen crazy. Did you expect Daniel Jones to get drafted that high? Did you expect Zach Wilson to get drafted that high?
I would expect that somebody would trade up for him, don't you think?
I could see that. You couldn't see the Cardinals drafting him?
Sure.
I could see him going in the first round for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's top 6.
I don't know. Why not? We've seen it time and time again.
Because I think that the league feels like he's not ready to play right now.
Yeah, but it only takes one team, Jason.
I know.
What about Kansas City?
I mean,
But you're going to trade up to the top 6 to
No,
take
I
a
don't
guy
know.
that you're going to sit?
They're at 12, right?
10. No. 11. No. 9. Chiefs 9, right?
Chiefs are at 9, correct.
Yeah. Did anybody think Zach Wilson was ready to play? Well, the Jets did. It only takes one team.
I
and the
know.
stupid teams draft early generally.
I know.
The Browns are a stupid team. The
I'm just
Cardinals are a
telling you.
stupid team. The Jets are a stupid team.
Top 6, I would be shocked if you went
I don't know
top
how you guys
6.
could be shocked.
I'd be shocked too.
I'm shocked that you're shocked.
I'm with Bull just because it's a quarterback.
We've seen it a million times. Did you guys like lose your memory?
No.
Not in this class and not with this particular quarterback.
Mike, nobody had Daniel. Where was Daniel Jones drafted?
Not top 6. Because
Well,
he was
whatever,
number
he was-
7.
He was what?
Number 7. So get your facts right.
He loves.
Who had that?
I mean, there was
Who had Zach Wilson going 2 to the Jets?
everybody. That was commonly mocked everywhere.
Most people did not think he was worth a top.
He was
pick.
mocked 2, and
He was.
that
mocked.
Was he?
He was mocked
Yeah.
quite a bit. There.
What about Penix? I know it's 12, but still.
Penix was not 12. Bo Nix was 12.
Bo Nix too. Nobody had Bo
It
Nix.
was more the team than Penix, I think, at that point. It was the fact it was the Falcons that took him.
Guys, we are talking about the Browns, Cardinals, and Jets, 3 of the stupidest organizations in sports.
I'll tell you what right now, the Browns are not taking Ty Simpson.
Fine, maybe not. But I'm not predicting he's going to go there. But to say you'd be shocked if somebody takes him that high.
I would not be
That's
shocked
crazy.
if that would happen. It's the NFL draft, and there are stupid teams, and teams are desperate for quarterbacks. There's only so many of them to go around. Ty
That's right.
Simpson has a ton of upside, like Jason said. Probably not ready to play this year, but for somebody, a year or 2 down the road, like this guy could be a legitimate starter in this league.
And again, it doesn't matter if 30 teams think he's not worth it. All it takes is one.
Yes. I agree. I'll just leave it there. I'll be
All right.
shocked. I'll be shocked.
Now I want it to happen so I could humiliate both of you on.
Just want to be right.
Yeah, I just want to be right. That's really all it's about.
Then root for the Titans to draft him and just cause pure chaos.
The Titans, that would, now that would be shocking. The Titans draft him. That I would be shocked by.
I mean, the Cardinals are trying to trade down. Maybe they're trying to trade down to get in a position where they feel more comfortable taking a Ty Simpson.
That's silly. If you're going to you're not going to trade that. What, you're going to take Ty Simpson at 12 but not at 3? That makes no sense.
You get more picks, and
that doesn't make any sense.
You
if you like him enough to take him at 12, you take him at 3 and you shut up.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I don't think there's any chance in the world that Cardinals take him at 3 when they know they can.
I don't know how you could say that.
I'll put $20 on it. You want to put $20 on it?
No, because I'm not saying it's going to happen. I just don't understand how you could be how you could be.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Bull doesn't gamble anymore.
I don't gamble, man, but
he'll make a burger bet though once in a while.
Yeah,
put your $1 to his 20.
Yeah, you owe me $1 if he goes top 6.
All right.
If he doesn't, I owe you 20 if he goes top 6. You owe me $1 if he doesn't.
All right, fine.
Deal?
Yeah.
Can I have that bet?
You want it too?
Yes.
I'll double up. Sure.
Oh, you want to lose $40?
Big spender over there.
You probably won't lose the $40, but
He's only going to make 2.
yeah,
That's not much of a.
Hey,
that's 20 to 1. It's probably longer odds than that for him.
I think I actually got great odds here for that.
But in the end, we're losing $1. I mean, it's
Yeah, I'll pay $1 if you win 20.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good lottery ticket.